Again, brothers and sisters, fear, great fear. I attempted to explain that yesterday. The nature of the fear that's coming. It's coming at supersonic speeds, brothers and sisters. And it's going to grab hold of everyone, just about virtually everyone. Fear. Fear is when you lose control. That's bottom line. That's what fear is. You lose control. Right? You lose control of your body. You get fear. Fear of death. You lose control. Right? But the fear of death is, for most people, that's the greatest fear. You lose control of life. Fear. And it says the great fear is coming because you lose control and tells you the nature of the control. Okay? So if it tells you what's the nature of control is something that happens in the heavens or the Middle East. That gives a lot of information if you understand how to interpret information. Because what's over there that signifies, it makes them realize they lose control. Something over there that will happen. When you lose control, that means nothing happens in a vacuum. That means if you lose control, that means what you can lose control of is trying to control you. Because nothing is out of control in this universe. It's either control or being controlled. Either you have control of yourself or others have control of you. There's no vacuum there. Okay? So something they're going to see over there that signifies they lost control, and that's just anticipation. It means they're losing control. The great fear of them aspect of losing control, and then what happens when they actually have lost it. So they're having great fear because something happens that makes them realize. In other words, they're saying, "Oh, I might be losing control." No, they realize they're losing control. They realize they lose control. See? It means like, you know death is coming. There's nothing I can do about it. They know they're losing control. See? Great fear. And I'm going to talk about this more in detail in a few minutes. See here? Men's hearts failing them for fear, for those looking after those things which are coming in anticipation. For the powers, they're losing power. They lose control. Powers haven't been shaken. Their power is being shaken. Their power is being, whose power? They wouldn't be fearing someone else's power is being shaken. They're in fear because their power is being shaken by something that happens in the heavens, and we know it can't be beyond the sun, moon, and stars because they wouldn't be able to perceive it. It has to be something happening here on the planet that is related to heaven, which is the Middle East. That's what heaven is, right? And something happens there that makes them realize their power, right? They're losing power. They're losing it. See? Because it's shaking. It's not broken. It's shaking. It should be shaken. They know that's the result of it is destruction. And they don't have to say strokes and so things, strokes and go into shock. Don't mean it because heart's failing. That covers all of that. Epidemic. Because something that's going to something they're going to see here in a few more days or maybe a few more hours that's going to shake them to the core. So much so their hearts be failing instantly. Instantly, be an epidemic of all over America. Europe also, but primarily here in America. something they're going to witness, something they're going to see. Where are they at? Heart's failing. What would they be when they perceive this? Driving the school bus, driving a plane, truck. And their faith in this, right, would be shaken. Because this is the control. He's the control of the power. He's in control of the power. Mr. Trump, he's in control of the power. Gog and Magog, world dictators, control of the power. He controls the power. So their faith is going to be shaken. Because he controls the power. So he realized he has no control. Their faith in him is going to collapse. What does that mean? Okay? He's going to have to hold it together. So you have to what? Call martial law. You won't have any choice. Because the whole country is going to be opposed. Because when you're under great fear, you want to get rid of fear. He's the cause of the fear. Because he's controlling it. That's where they're going to see it. So you got to get rid of the cause of the fear. His reaction, so action, reaction. So he's going to have to react by control, take control, because he lose control. If a man's heart's failing of fear, he's losing control. America's losing control over there. He's losing control over here because he's losing control over there. So he's in control of his whole affair. He's losing control over here. Let me say this another way, brothers and sisters. Hold on. So I'm gonna go a little further than I've ever went before today. Understand? If man's heart is filled with fear, who controls it? Who's the controller? So that means if the man's heart's filled with fear, and he's the one that's power is shaken, he's the one that controls the power. So his powers be shaken. And that's causing people's hearts to fail. So people are really afraid. So now, people want to get rid of fear. So they're going to blame him. Blame him. So what's his reaction going to be? Because that means he loses control of America. He's losing control. You understand? He's losing control of America. Something caused him to lose control of the world. Something that they needed. That if they lose control of it, it terrifies them. But he's the one that's in control of it. So he lost control. That's what they're going to say. He lost control. And he had fear. He lost control. And we have fear because of what he did. You understand? So what's his reaction? He going to sit in, let them tear him apart? No, he's going to call martial law. They try to control the situation. I always say you can learn a lot. Action, reaction. See? The thing is, as you say, in the Middle East right now, I got a little situation with my camera. Hold on, brothers and sisters, let me fucking fix this a little bit. Let's see. It's over there. Okay. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit here. I think it's this one here. Is this the one here? No. Yes. It's this camera here. I got these camera problems, sisters. I tell you. Let's try this one. Yeah. So that works for a while. So you can learn a lot from just, if you say action, what's your reaction? So look what's behind the scenes. That's going to force a situation over here. That means you're going to have civil unrest here. Huge scale. People just collapsing, having seizures and going into shock. Because somebody will see, and he's in control. So he's going to be the one they're going to look to. He's the one that's the reason why they're in fear. Because he lost control. And so now he's lost control of America too. I mean, the population. So he could just, well, he's going to have to react to that. So he's going to try to get control of it. Martial law. There's so much, brothers and sisters, that's about to happen. And the problem is counterfeit power. How does that fit in? That's why he lost control, because his power was tested, found it was counterfeit. When the store found your money was counterfeit. It was counterfeit. So they come after you. It's not working. He's pushing over the Middle East right now. It's not working because he doesn't have the power. See, they're resisting him. They said, no, they're buying his bluffs. So, as the people going to realize that, they're going to say, well, but is that what's causing part of their fear? Because they'll be like, we go. America doesn't have any power. Look, they just got defeated dramatically. And now everybody's after us now because we don't have any power to defend ourselves. Is it like, if you went into the jungle, right? And all of a sudden you got your weapon, and then all of a sudden you're attacked by a bunch of lions or wolves, and then you find that you got blanks. Woo! Blanks. You thought you had bullets. Now you realize you cannot protect yourself. What would happen to you? You'd be overwhelmed with fear. Wouldn't you? And that's part of what happens. Because once they see power is shaken, how did that power get shaken? Okay. And these devils like to blame people. Okay, I got issue with this camera. I know it would be something. I might just let it go because that's not take away from the message here. What's going on here? Okay, that may be a little better. I don't know. It really is not that big of a problem. I just let it go. Never had that problem before. Okay, try this. This is going to cause me a problem if I do this. Oop, yep, oop. Should never moved it. Let's see what happens there. Just broke one of my cameras. Oh boy, yep. She just left it be. Yep, hold on. Should left it be. You want me to get this message out? My balance sisters. If this camera works. Mm-mm. Okay, maybe that'll work. We'll see. Move on. Oh, well, what happened to this? Okay. Mm-mm. Okay, we'll see what happens here, brothers and sisters. You don't really need to see me anyway. Okay. As I was saying, the backstory. Every act has an opposite equal reaction. So if something happens over there that caused that reaction here. The other thing is that America's reacting to something. In other words, why is America over there? They're reacting to something. See, so in other words, where they react? So it's something that's because they're fighting it and it put more and more resources, more energy. So in other words, if you're under pressure, you try to alleviate the pressure. And the pressure increases, it means it takes more and more energy to offset that pressure. If you're under pressure, the pressure is increasing, that means you got to use more and more energy to keep from being crushed by it. So that's why your total focus is to keep from being crushed. All your energy is for that. And if you can't get enough energy, if your energy runs out, then you're crushed. The force is greater than the energy, right? The force is greater than the energy you can produce to offset it, then you're crushed by it. You can't, you don't have enough strength. So you see America put more and more resources over there. That means they're feeling the pressure from over there. Why? What kind? If they tell you they're feeling the pressure over there, and they put more resources, that means it's hurting them. So the question comes, at some point, where you see the open conflict. At that point, will they be able to put enough energy in there to destroy that force that's causing pressure on them. That's right. Which pressure on you, and you're trying to either push it back up, or away, or shift it, or destroy it, because that pressure is bothering you. It's questioning you. So you need to destroy that pressure, or alleviate it some kind of way. So the pressure increasing, so you put more and more energy. And that's what you see what's happening, trying to get you to understand stuff mathematically. They put more in, that's why their focus on there is so great. Focus is more intense because they've been pressured by it. Why have they been pressured by it? But obviously, Iran is stronger than they telling you. Because, or you don't have to say, but listen to what the media is saying. Just say Iran must be very strong because look how much energy America's doing to try to eliminate them. Look what false Israel doing over there. They're doing all this fight because that's right. That's conflict. So why fight? Because they're under such intense pressure. So they fight hard and hard. So they put all this energy. America put all energy because the question is the pressure increasing greater than the amount of energy they can take to offset it? Because they can't. They're about to be crushed. So if you understand that, maybe you understand, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter to me. For it's written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring nothing understanding of the prudent. You see, this gets back to, that's why you gotta be careful of the Quran. The Quran talking about believers and disbelievers. Well, disbelievers, and we understand that what are they disbelieving in? They disbelieving in the new reality, the new season coming in. Why? Because they're part of the old season. But the Quran looks like they're going to be destroyed and all these things happen to them. And the reason why I use that particular language, because at this particular time in history, see, because that process goes on all through reality, that process will continue all through as long as the universe exists. Because it says only one person will be able to make it back to so it means as time goes on, some people will not be able to move to the next level. Because you come out the new scripture, the new reality, new season, next season comes, and I can't, I went through 1,000 seasons, I can't make it, I can't, it's too great for me, I can't, right? I can't I can't go to the next season. But you will be crushed, you'll be crushed, but you'll be crushed bodily. The new season just was like snow, spring comes in and snow melts. But this time it's violent. That's why time of unprecedented trouble, because this time it's violent. And that's what the Quran is trying to get you to see. It doesn't tell you that way. But a disbeliever this time is someone that cannot move to the next level, move to the next season. And they're going to violently oppose the new season. And anyone that's part of it, they're going to violently oppose, because they want to hold on. They want to continue. And they won't be able to. So that process always continues. It's just in this particular time right here, right? Because it's based on the fulcrum also, because the fulcrum is near zero. Right? So in other words, well, I don't want to go into much detail about this, but because of that, it's the worst time in history for that transition. Because the disbelievers are the ones that can't make the transition to the next season. They don't have the ability to. It's just too much for them. Like, and you can hear after, man, it seems so great, man. I just can't stop. It's I love it. I mean, you know, it's like a magnet. The magnet's too great. You just can't, you can't move to the next level. And so you just, I can't stop eating them Doritos, man. They're killing me. I can't stop it. Things so beautiful, you just can't move to the next level. It talk about in the Bible, talking about a time will come, people say, this place is just too straight for me. It's just too much. I can't handle it. Plus, the problem is, right, every time you move to the next level, you got to be more disciplined than you was before. And they won't have the discipline. They got a lot of discipline, but at some point, it just requires more discipline than because we all have a certain amount of discipline, but some people have more discipline than others. So the point I'm trying to say is that when they're talking about disbelievers and destruction, because it's during this particular time and transition between the extremely wicked people They want to hold on. So it's the worst time in history. But this probably always continue. We'll have people that just can't make, because they keep revealing the scripture, seasons keep changing. People say, oh, God, I got this far, I can't go to the next one. And so, right? It's fade away. Pretty much, they don't, it's not violent. They just can't move to the next level. I don't know if you understand that. I don't know. So the thing is that when you move to spring, the people that's wise in the winter, they're stupid now because everything they do doesn't work. They was wise then, but now they're stupid because they don't have the knowledge of the. I mean, it's not that they, right? Their brain just went crazy. No, the wisdom that they had in the winter just don't work in the spring. So for the people in the spring, they look at them and man, them people are stupid. They're wicked. That stuff they do don't make no damn sense. Stupid and wicked. That's why I said I will vex you with those stupid people, because we look stupid to them because we're from a different season. But when our season comes in, now we're the wise and they're the stupid, and nothing that works. But look at them stupid man. Everything that was working for them. They was look at them stupid niggas, man, and now everything's working for them because now it's their season. And when they look, they see what you're doing, they can understand what you're doing. How that stuff work? Because remember, they still in the winter. They still thinking winter. And they look at you and say, man, that's how I would vex you with the stupid people. Because from their point of view, we're stupid. But then the spring starts coming in, and because remember, we were stupid. Two reasons why we were stupid. Our nature was for the summer, for spring, and it was in conflict with the bind they gave us. So they look at us, we like stupid people. See? Because we trying to act like cats, when we are cats in a dog world. Look at them. They act like damn cats. You see? I don't want to go too deep in this, brothers and sisters, but so we look stupid to them because our nature is based on the spring, and we're trying to act that way, and that just doesn't work in the winter. It doesn't work. See? So we look at us, we stupid. But then spring starts coming in, and then our stuff start working, and theirs don't anymore. And they look at us and man, look at us, how is this stuff working? And they want to get rid of you because you being successful, and they're failing, and they still have power, and they winning over yet. And the rest of the ice, whatever they got left, they're going to try to destroy you with it because they think they're going to hold on to that winner. Move on, let's move on, brothers and sisters. That's what's stupid. You understand? It's relative. Okay? And they can't understand anything that we'll be doing. Once the spring, they can't understand any of it. And that's the problem with stupid people. See, you think stupid people, somebody, well, they can't add and subtract. No, when they talk about stupid people in that way, they're also called disbelievers, right? Stupid in that sense is that they out of sync with the reality. They're out of sync with reality. We've been out of sync with the reality for 40 years. I think we're stupid, ignorant, everything else. But they was in sync with the reality. But we was out of sync with the reality. That's why the angel didn't know anything, but Adam did because he was in sync with the reality. But now reality is changing to spring. He's not in sync with it anymore. He's losing power because things is working less and less and less. Now it's working more and more and more. And then we get our mind, everything gets coordinated. Oh, it's all over. They want to prevent that. So the problem with the stupid is that they don't know they're stupid. Because they had the angel for 2,000 years and they couldn't touch it. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Couldn't touch it. Because it's above their ability, right? It's a book for another season, and their winter season. The Sealed Bible was a book for this season, winter season. So we stumble around in it. So one of the problems with stupid people is they don't know they're stupid. How can they know? And I used to be amazed at stupid people because they would sit around, they look at you like it's like a dog looking at you. He don't know you're not a dog. I mean, you look different, but because you're some kind of a dog. I mean, how can he know any better? So a stupid person, or they can't see how can they appreciate your wisdom, right? If you're smarter than them, how can they appreciate it? Because they have to be wise to see. They have to be wise to see and respect your wisdom. And stupid people always go around, they think they're wiser than everybody else. Because they see, all they can see, they can't see above themselves. And so they can't appreciate your wisdom, so they think you're stupid. Why are you doing stuff? You know, I mean, I got family members right now. Almost all my relatives I know about, I'm the most successful by far, not even anyone close. Most successful, anybody. The most hated. Because they don't understand anything I'm doing. Nothing. But they see I'm successful. I must be a Satan or something. By far, there's not anyone close. And why are you doing that stuff? And like close family members, you make us a lot. Why you waste time? Make us a lot, man. You would spend an hour there. Man, you could be doing something. See, they don't see it. Because they're stupid. You can see it. Okay? But they see the success. So it's got to be something wrong with me to be successful when they're not. And I'm doing this stuff don't make any sense. How does that make any sense? It don't make any sense to them. Because he's stupid. And stupid, there's a consequence of being stupid. The crime called disbelievers, and disbelievers in this time frame, total destruction, total. That's what it's telling you. For it's written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. Because new season come in, there's not wisdom anymore. That's winter wisdom. Don't work in the spring. And bring you nothing to understand. That's what you're going to see. Let's look at this. I'm going to get my main subject in a minute, brothers and sisters. So I come and send fire upon the earth. Okay. All this is about the fall of America. Disaster after disaster after disaster, because the whole reality is based on the winter. I'm using this analogy. Right? Snow, ice, the whole analogy, the idea, whole thing. Whole Santa Claus, you got reindeer, and whole thing, the whole idea. Whole reality. And you need oil to keep you warm and all that, to keep this thing going. It's all based on winter. And so therefore, the spring coming in. Capitalism, all that's based on winter. All that gets back to agricultural system, agricultural reality and everything else. I'm not going to go into all that kind of detail. But the point is, and so now spring's coming in, and that stuff doesn't work anymore. You don't need it. Okay? We won't need oil. If spring comes in, why you don't need heat anymore because you got plenty of heat from the sun. Analogy, because oil would not be a source of power. Of our technology will not be the source, not even close. I explained to you why we gave it to them, because we wanted to get that oil out of the ground, because you have rivers of oil in the ground, and also your drinking water is in there. You have rivers of drinking water, and it's about to mix. That would poison all the drinking water. We don't get drinking water from the ocean. Water comes in and it's purified through the rocks. That's an old story. And we got rivers of, that's why you dig a well and things like that, because you got rivers of clean water. But you also got rivers of oil, because after millions and millions of years, biological, degrade and turns to oil. Now you have rivers of oil that you see all they're bringing up. So that's one of the reasons why we made Adam and gave him charge of his age, because that would fuel it, and he'd bring that stuff out of the ground. So it's almost all gone, because they tell you they got about maybe 30 years, maybe 40 years at the most, if they kept going every day they're going before all the oil is gone. The oil doesn't just reproduce itself. It takes millions of years to build up. And so when it's all gone, then what would have happened then? They won't tell it to you like that. Everybody trying to go electric, but then the point is they need oil to run the electrical plants. That's my story. Go on. So it's telling you destruction is coming. It's telling you that the God, or the son of man, he's bringing destruction. He's bringing hell, confusion. What's the backstory there? That means the pressure that's increasing is greater than they can handle. They're going to be under pressure because it's war. If you understand, that's why I tell people to study vector, study pressure. They didn't do it. And then they will understand this, because more pressure, that means more violent you become. And now you got division. Pressure causes division, right? And you put enough. You have to put a whole lot to achieve how hot, but before that, it's extremely hot, extremely, yeah. So that's the backstory is telling you that I'm bringing more pressure upon you. How do I bring more pressure upon you? We're talking about quality. We can bring quality of pressure. Universe brings quantity of pressure. The quantity of pressure is as a result of the universe contracting. And the thing is that unless the universe reverses itself and start, then that means the pressure is increasing. That means they're going to be destroyed. There's two. Let me say this. Let me say this. It says, doing them as double they did to you. But don't say destroy them. Because that's quantity power. That's quantity power. The consequence. That will not crush them. That will put back to them where they did. No, but remember, when the NOI leaves here, they're still alive. The ones that survive, they're still alive. So they didn't put it. So that, because that comes from the quality of how we play on pressure, putting under the quality. But it's the pressure of the universe contraction that actually crushes them out of existence. Because we can't crush them out of existence. It don't show that we do that anywhere. Right? It's the quantity, it's the quality of the pressure increasing that actually force all the nations out of existence. What we do is the consequence of what they did to us. I don't know if you understand that, but move on, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about a lot of stuff that but I'm gonna connect some dots here. That's why I'm talking about some of these things, because I know no one probably understands anything I'm talking about here. They're not crushed during tribulation. Even Armageddon, they're defeated. They're not crushed because the pressure of the universe contracting, like the universe expanding, that puts it into deprivation. Right? But it wasn't enough to destroy us because we're the gods. The pressure, ultimately, right, what happens at Armageddon is they fight between themselves. Eventually, the pressure is too great and they can't exist anymore. So, the consequence is that's quality pressure. Doing them as they done to us. It means you do it a certain way. So here it is about the mother and father. See, and this is due. Right, this is quality. Quality pressure. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. Woe too long for the day of the Lord. See, the thing is that because they're winter people and they don't know about the spring. Remember, they was creating a winter. Adam was creating a winter. I'm using winter as an analogy now. Understand that. And so they never saw spring. They don't know anything about that. Right? So when they read the sealed Bible, right? Then it's telling them that when this new season comes in, right, it's still going to be another winter, but it's going to be another winter season, but we one where they're going to have more power. Because they're under that's why I say, what those long for the day of the Lord. Because they think when the Lord comes, man, they're going to give more power. Because all they know is winter. They don't know anything about it. They never say anything like that. But it's telling you that no, it's going to be dark for them. Because that's new season coming in, and it won't be winter. That's what it's telling you. What those long for the day of the Lord. They say, man, I'll be glad when the Lord comes. We're going to be stronger now. It's going to be even more stronger winter, greater winter. Instead of, no. You don't know. It's going to be something else, a spring that you don't know anything about. And it's going to he's going to come and destroy you. So woe to you. You think, hey, may the Lord come help. Because you don't understand that. It's a new season coming in spring. It's not winter. It's totally opposed to winter. That's what it says. It's going to be bad luck for them because they say, hey, man, I'm fleeing from a lion. And it just keeps worse. Things are getting worse for me. Nothing's working. Why? Because spring is coming in and the winter works less. What's happening in winter gets worse and it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Wisdom gets less and less effective. It says this is quality, right? Give back to her, she gave back to you double. That's quality. It means we the consequence of what they did to us. We are the consequence. You understand? So that's why we damned it up. It was damned by submitting. We the consequence. So therefore, once that dam breaks, tooth for tooth, then now we've been holding it back. What they've been doing to us, now it's about built, dammed up. Now the dam is releasing. Now we do back them double because we're talking about the fulcrum. Because now we have power. We lead. That's when we lead out. So we are. We lead out of great substance. Because now we have a lot of energy. We double. Because now we have nothing. The problem is right now we don't have our mind. Because we got a lot of energy because we was beating ourselves. I was going to go into that a little more deeper than I had before, but I changed my mind. I'm going to talk maybe another time. You understand? So when the backstory says, okay, double, that means we got a lot of energy. And then another place, you got to connect all the dots. Another place says, hey, we lead out with great substance. Well, that means we got a lot of energy. And we defeat our enemies. And how does it happen? If it double, that means that wouldn't be justice, would it? See? But if you don't understand about the fulcrum, it wouldn't make any sense to you. You say, well, how are you? You got to have full comprehensive knowledge how this thing works. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let me get my main point in a minute. Here we go. Invincible. Let me check my sound here. Because they win a people and they invincible, the crusher, flee, stupidity. You know, over the years, it's been 1990, so was it 35 years now? I've been teaching the angel. Not teaching it, but broadcasting. Now, initially, study mode, the lamb mode, studying, villain, I was totally studying more. I said, oh, yeah, I got so much study. I says, see, I mean, I had knowledge how the universe works, and that helped me with this. So you have to have all that. But because they don't tell you directly in the angel, but it's there. It's just, you got to read the backstory. You understand all these things? Well, the universe has to work like this for this to be true. For they have double fulcrum and energy deprivation, that tells you somehow the universe has to work for that stuff to be true. And that was just confirmation because I understood how the universe works. I said, well, yeah, but coordinator put everything together, put all the pieces together. Okay. And so at some point I said, okay, I gotta hold my study in as much, because now I gotta start getting this information out. Because I didn't know I was sitting there. I had no idea what I was getting into. Once I started realizing, I said, oh. So I still got to study because it's still a lot more. But I said, I got to also get information also. I just can't sit there and sit on it. So initially, right, it was more study and less transmitting. As time went on, more transmitting, less study, more transmitting, more less study. Right? Still studying. I'm still studying now. In fact, as long as you live, it's a process of studying. It's like working out. You got to constantly keep your active. You got to keep your brain active. If you sit down, then your brain has to stay active. It's like a muscle. You have to keep active. That's why seasons keep changing. That's one of the reasons. So you got to keep adjusting the next season. You got to keep your mind going. Keep upgrading new minds. Like Windows. They say, okay, we're not supporting Windows 2.0 anymore. You got to get Windows 2.1, 2.3. Upgrade. People don't want to do that. That's why people can't go to the next level, man. I can't go. There's too much. So they stuck on the second floor, third floor. Keep studying, right? So at some point, I got the basic idea. And the basic blueprint of the angel. I didn't get that until I figured out the key. And then once I figured it was a key, then I had to put all the pieces in the key to find, okay, how everything fits in that key. So it's a process, a lot of work. Just studying. It was a big headache. Man, I mean, it was like, it's unbelievable. I don't want to go through that again. Because I knew my people needed this. So okay, 100%. Because I would want 100%. If someone was, if I had to follow somebody was in charge of saving me, I want to know they put 100% in too. I want them to say, hey, man, I got to take a lunch and everything else. Man, hey, man, like you got a lawyer. Your life's online. He said, man, I got to go on vacation. Hey, yo, man, hold it, man. I want to know you 100% committed to get me off, man. They want to electrocute my ass. You see? I'll give you another lawyer if you're not 100%. You go on vacation after we beat this thing. See? 100%. That because that's what you would want. But will you want to do that yourself? So over time, and as time went on, right, people started coming in, and I knew, that, hey, I'd run them off. I know some of them was sent in by the devil. See what's going on. So I run them off. Why? Part of the reason I was running them off because it was distraction. I said at that point I was intense studying. I just didn't have time for the bullshit. I don't have any time for bullshit right now either. But that's what I'm saying. That's I knew, it was just distraction. And I needed to be totally focused until I was comfortable enough, right? Because I still made sure I had to go and make sure I had the right grasp of this thing. My interpretation was right. Because like I said, in the beginning, I had a couple of things that I wasn't quite sure about. Like, I wasn't sure about Syria or Turkey. I wasn't sure which one was the right. And then when I realized it was Shia, I knew it had to be Syria. But at first, I wasn't sure about that. I thought Turkey, for some reasons, right? I thought that the nation, the original people, that was the earth. Because it said the woman, she had stars on her head and a moon under her feet, and she clothed the sun. I said, that sounds like the earth. Things like that. And I had to go in. Of course, we're looking at everything. Once I got the key, see, I didn't know that until once I got the key, I knew that wasn't right. That wasn't right. Because before I got the key, I thought that's what I was thinking. I didn't get the key right away. A lot of study. And then I found there's an alternate key. And these things, years and years, somebody took years, some of this stuff to figure out. So I said, I ain't had time for the bullshit. So because people was coming, at one time, I had a bunch of people. Because at first I thought that's what I should be doing. So I used to put pamphlets out and stuff like that, right? And man, and I had a mini mansion at the time, just before that fell apart. And it had like a nice piece of land. And had like a detached garage that wasn't attached to the house. It was off to the side. It was a big lot in Orange, New Jersey, right down the street from the mayor. And it was like a mini mansion, right? 3 floors, and 5 bathrooms, and had sauna and pool table, all that stuff in there, right? And detached from it, had like the garage, and had a apartment over top of the garage. Right? And so I use that like a temple. And all kind of and I had to run them all off. Right? And there's a lot of reasons, because it was really a big distraction. Right? And I wasn't totally confident that I had everything right at that time. Right? So things like that, right? If you say, why are you running people off? Why didn't you just tell them they got to leave? Right? And there were certain things that would do certain things, and I test people. And so anyway, that's another story. So it was something like that, and says time went on, all right. And people come and go and come and go and come and go. And I got a little more flexible, like I said, the 10th study, I got more comfortable with the angel, right? And it wasn't so much. I wasn't so much like locked in. So about 4 or 5 years ago, right? I knew about these 3 will come show up. I knew about that because I got a book here. I did a book called The Tekel. I got a picture of 3, right? So I knew at some point 3 would show up. And the question was, for what purpose? Right? I got the 3 primarily from Daniel. And Daniel, they don't do nothing. They go to the furnace, but they don't do anything. They don't do anything. They're just there. Companions, they don't do anything. Nothing. Zero. Do nothing at all. And that's where I got the idea about 3 from Daniel. Right? So that's why I put this book called The Tekel. I've got it right somewhere. Right? And it's got a picture on it. It's got the 3 companions in it. Like I said, I'm used to, right? Because I had people come in, I had this one person come in, man, he was like, he was fired up, he claimed he was fired up, right? And, he was like really down, and he was married, and he had a kid, and he'd been in jail, and I kind of let myself get attached to the brother, right? Eddie Hearns. And boy, he was so full of it, boy, because like I said, I was at the time, I still have a contracting business. And like one day, I'm going to my cubicle, right? When I'm working, I'm contract. I was here a contract. I think it's a place called. It was an insurance company. I had a contract with them, right? And I can't think of the name of it at this point, right? Anyway, it was in Chicago, right near the World Trade Center before 9/11. And on my chair, man, was like Mr. the Black Man with that there. Right? So that he did it. So he was trying to really press me that he was down with this, right? And I hadn't talked to him because I don't do that when I'm in contract. I never get to any stuff. But he tuned on my name and he knew, I guess he'd been in jail and I guess he probably was, pretending he was a Muslim, whatever was in there, right? And nobody came to me like that directly. So I kind of like, he got me a little bit, right? So he came on, he laid it on, boy. So that time I had a real estate business too, right? I had bought several houses, I had me a couple of houses and stuff, plus my main mini mansion. And so he was living in New York at the time, right? I was working in New York, contract. So I said, hey, man, and he was there for some kind of program because he was a jailbird, and so I guess some kind of parole program or something. They let him come in and work. He was an employee there. I was a contract. He was an employee there. Right? So I tried to help him out a little bit, right? I tried to tell him what's going on, teach him a little bit about how the program and stuff work, right? So some got around to it and everything, right? And he started coming over and see my family, all that kind of stuff. And he was like, oh, man. So he wanted to move to New Jersey. I said, okay, I got a house here, man. I get this house for you. I was giving him a good deal on it. But he had the money to put down payment. And they want you to show escrow, that kind of stuff, right? So what I did was, I think they wanted $20,000 down payment, or $20,000, $50,000. So I went to this lawyer I knew. I said, okay, I gave him the money. I said, this is for him. And they put an escrow in his name when I can't touch it anymore. It's his money. Right? It's his money. Because the way they do it is, I forget the story. It's been a long time I don't do real estate anymore. I'm totally concentrated on this. Right? But I was moving and grooving. I was doing myself, like Elijah Muhammad said. I was moving and grooving. I was rolling in dough, right? Anyway, so once I did that, because once you did that, they want to know that money is theirs. Totally, they have control of it. I can't have control anymore. And that's when he came out. Oh man, he came at me. He wasn't down with this and all that, because he thought he had the money. That was the house. He thought he had it. It was all ripped, it was all scammed to begin with. Right? But the lawyer, I knew him real good. He wasn't a Muslim or anything, but I still, I still owe him. Because when he saw what was going on, he took the money and says, okay, out of it, and gave it back to me. He wasn't supposed to do that. He's against the law. He could have lost his license for doing that. When Eddie found out to do when ballistic, I call a lawyer, I do it, no, I do it. He's going to do all stuff. All kinds of problems. I used to run in the park. This was a park by half a mile where he showed one day him and his brother. They started some crap. We got into it, and I whooped his ass, right? He goes and tell the police I pull a gun on him in New Jersey. That's how you pull a gun on somebody. 60 years in jail or a mag. I had no gun. It's the only time in my life I allowed myself, I've never been afraid of anybody, but I got myself a little, I got anxious about it, and I ended up getting an ulcer out of this because the way they had that thing set up, right? And I've been a lot of pressure, a lot of stuff, but this would, I had my family, my everything, and I was about to lose it because this dude was doing it, and they had me, and I kept going to court, and the judge wouldn't do anything. He just kept bringing me back. I said, oh man, and I let it get to me. Plus, I was married to a demon at the time, right? So, and all those things had together. I ain't making no excuses. Anyway, I got myself back together. But I was under a great deal of stress. But that was good because the point that I learned how to, I learned more about making slots and stuff. So now I know how to make enough to avoid, if I get under stress, I know I need to keep them happy because I knew connection between, I knew there was a connection, but I couldn't calibrate it. And being married to that demon in that two situations, I knew, okay, anytime I get in a stress situation, okay, I just got to turn up the volume and good, and that works. So I learned something from that. But I'm saying all that went down because he was just a scammer. He did all that to get to try to bring down everything I had worked for and everything. Right? And so I wouldn't remember, I was in Angel at that time. Right? So I learned a lesson from that too. Because he just ran his ass off. But the way he came at me, it was kind of convincing, right? And so, boom. But after that, man, catch you right away. Made that mistake again. So 5 years ago, right? I said, at that time I knew about the reading all that kind of stuff, right? But I didn't know were they going to do anything on that. I said, I know they're going to show up sooner or later. And then all of a sudden they show up. Right? So my first reaction was, don't deal with this. Right? Because I don't need it. But I said, man, let me let this play out. Let it play out. See, at that time, I got to another level of pressure. Now, understand this if you're going to understand it. When you're in a pressure system, everybody has the same force. That's what I call no net forces in a pressure system. That means if there's a shift in the force, you have a current. That's what a current is, because it's to adjust that force to make everything equal again. So if at one point the force is greater at another point, then you have a current to flow, and it's going to equalize. So all of a sudden, everything's equal. That's where your current's coming. You don't have a current. That means everything's equal. Period. So the bottom line is when you have it in there, in the pressure, right? And say, for instance, you got a collision, all that kind of stuff, right? So the thing is, you can't, unless the pressure increases some kind of way, there's nothing you can do if you're in that pressure system, as long as you're in it, to offset the pressure. You can change the quality of the pressure. It's like doing a hard cost, doing energy deprivation. Everybody wants the same amount of pressure. All the nations want the same amount of pressure, no matter what their solution was. But we said, no, we want to take it forward. We get right in the center where it's I talk about restrictive pressure. That's transformative. It means you have no place to go. You got to take that will transform coal into diamond. But you have unrestricted pressure where, like, you push something down underwater, it just comes someplace else. It's under pressure, but it comes someplace else. So that's the place else to go. So it doesn't transform. It just shifts someplace else. And we couldn't do that. It was totally locked in. So therefore, that's why it says, let's make man our likeness, our image, male and female. Understand? So, if you got, in the pressure, you got a quality of pressure you don't lack, like a person. Remember, I talk about personification. So that person is, they had a personification of the pressure that you are, like the devils during the wintertime, they was personification of pressure because they were like the ice. They hug you inside. But I don't know, let me stay on the point here. So, you're feeling pressure, so the pressure is great, right? It's tense. But if some case, so it manifests itself in the person. So you experience the pressure from that particular person. So now you can kill that person, but you didn't alleviate the pressure. You change the quality of pressure. You're still under pressure. It's just, you're not getting from that person. You'll give somebody else. But you recognize that person was causing the pressure. But if you got rid of that person, you still have the pressure, but now you might be able to identify it. like I said, during the Heinz deprivation, the other nations said, okay, we ain't going to go to that. So they still experienced pressure. Might have been a famine, all kinds of forms. They couldn't recognize. We could see it. We could see devils. We saw it. We know exactly what it was. But they still have it. They still can't identify. So you kill that person. Another person pops up. Maybe another person. But now you can't identify that person because you're still the same person. But now you can't identify. If you understand what I'm trying to say to you. So it's pointless. That's why I was saying earlier that we couldn't just kill them. It had to be the actual pressure, the universe contracted that questioned my existence, right? Because we're going to tell the quality of it. And if we go out and kill all the devils, say we kill all the devils instead of going to energy deprivation, instead of going to, Holocaust, okay, we got them, but we still been under pressure. We have famines, everything else, and it wouldn't have been transformative. Because remember, they was one that, because we was isolated and totally under their control, we wouldn't have got that either. But we still been under the same kind of pressure, just the quality different. Maybe fighting each other, famines, whatever, all kinds of disasters. We still been like all the nations went through, but then you get the transformative because we was right here in the center. If you understand that. So, and you kill them. So that's, I always said, it don't make no sense to do that. Like the mafia said, keep your friends close, keep your enemies close, or whatever, right? Because you can, now you recognize. So if you got an infiltrator, and you know it's the infiltrator, if you kill it, you probably get another infiltrator, but now you don't recognize it. You don't recognize it. Maybe a family member or something that converted. Now you know that, so you don't say nothing. You let them play. Let it play out. Because now you can recognize, you know what's going on. You know what to stay away from, right? Don't let this person know this, whatever. Because if you got rid of them, maybe it might be a family, but they know everything. Then you got problems. So if you know it, let it play out. See? Because as the pressure increases, that's going to take care of that. But as long as you put in that season, so to speak, right, now you identify it. So I came down understanding about pressure, learn more about pressure, right? And when they show up, I said, okay, let it play out. Let's see what happens here. Is this somebody the devil sent in? Because everything he sent in before, they got rid of. So they say, man, this got to my 3, let's send 3 in there. Let it play out. Because there's nothing in Daniel tell me that. So I said, okay, just watch them. Because the devil sent them in here. If I get rid of them, then he send 3 more. Now I don't know who they are. They come a different way. They may not come in whatever. And let it play out. Mm-hmm. And there's other reason why I let it play out. Because the angel is not only my weapon, it's also my protection. See, an angel is another type of protection other than the 5 pillars. I'm going to show you that in a minute. See, because that's why I talk about the Lamb's Book of Life. See, I'm talking about things I haven't talked about before, because right now, this shit don't hit the fan, so to speak. Oh, well, they're there, boy, anytime now. Yeah, anyway, anytime now. So, right? So we'll get there in a minute. So we talk about the invincible, the crusher, flee, stupidity. Right. So let's go a little further here. Now, I told people, I said, you know, the lamb is characterized as a lamb and a lion. I told people pretty soon, I said, you don't know me. And they don't know me. My wife doesn't really know me that well, because you know, but she, you know, I ain't gonna pull the line on her because I gotta sleep, right? But she, I love her, and she takes care of me, and I take care of her. We get along fine, right? But the point is, she doesn't really know me either, because she never really seen that side of me. She's always seen a lamb. All she's known me, she's always seen a lamb, and she see a little lion every now and then. She'd be saying, "Hey, what? What's going on with you?" No, I don't roar at her, but she see the way I deal with other things, right? But I'm never going to do that. I'm always going to be a lamb with her. I'll be a lion if anybody F with her. If I better not F with her. I tell you that right now. And she knows that nobody mess with my wife. She'll have no fear of anything. She knows that nobody F with her. She never had anybody worry about that as long as she's been with me. Anyway, And she know I die before I let anybody have anything touch her. She has no anxieties, anything, no fears, economically, socially, spiritually, whatever. She's well taken care of. That's what it's supposed to be. She did. I told her, I said, Beauty and the Beast. She said, you the beauty, I'm the beast. And that's another story anyway. So now it's time for the lion. That's what I'm going through. I'm saying right now. I've been saying for the last few days now, because it's the wrath of the. When you say the wrath of the lamb, you make it come to that. It's going to be. You ever seen a wrath of the lamb? It's on the lion now is coming out. Well, they've witnessed that yet. Anyway, you see this right here? That is part of the reason. This is the invincibility part. Like I said, stupid people, they take me to be stupid. Because how can they, I mean, they're stupid. I mean, a dog see me as a dog. He said, I'm strange, but I'm a dog. Because you can't see beyond that. And stupid people, they stupid, and then they take me to be stupid. Because they have to be smart to appreciate I'm smarter than them. How can they recognize smarter than them if they can't? How do they recognize no calculus? They can't no calculus. They have to know something about calculus, know that I'm good at it. They don't know what it is. How can they know I'm good at it? Which still there? I don't know. I have no idea. You understand that? So tell me invincibility. Now the one thing I did know, and this is one of the reasons why I was tolerant, right? Because one thing I did know is about my protection. Now the God promised I'll be protected personally. He said, just that I will be with you like I was with Elijah. Elijah was protected. He went to project, but nobody heard him. Nobody put a hand on him. And that's the promise. I always tell everybody I don't really need that, but I'll take it. Because the angel is my protection. I ain't talking about the 5 pillars. Right? Unless I'm stupid. Because some of these 2 trees. See, it was 2 trees. One's productive, one was unproductive. And one got cut down. What did they say he was producing? You ever ask so fruit that doesn't produce good fruit? What kind of fruit? What's the fruit? What's the tree? The tree. What's the tree? The tree is the scripture. A tree that produces bad fruit. They're producing old fruit. In your Bible. I mean, it's still Bible. That's not good fruit. So it gets cut down and destroyed. So now just cut down, they throw it in the fire. That tells you something right there. I might get into a little bit of that, maybe, maybe not. But the good tree is the angel tree. And it produces, remember the verses are the fruit. So it produces, you got that. If you're that tree, you produce the verses. You go in there and you break them down because that's your fruit. Apple tree had no problem producing apples. But if you try to get an orange tree to produce apples, it can't do it. Orange tree cannot produce apples. It can't do it. That's the devil. That's why he had the book for 2,000 years. They just couldn't touch it. See? That's why I said a tree that didn't produce good fruit. He ain't talking about the devils on that one. Because the devil, they just get burned up. But then it says, you get cut down and thrown in the fire. And they be weeping and gnashing teeth. That means they be tormented. Because it's talking about another people. Okay? It's talking about those Levites. He ain't talking about demons here. No Levites. They can't move to the next level. Maybe the agents. Just distractors, whatever. But they are not They baby with Esau. They're not angel. Because if there was an angel tree, they produce angel fruit. They break those verses down. That's my protection. Because I know if they can't do that, they ain't with me. I can watch them. They ain't with me. They fake. They're real. Okay? They can't. They see. But if they were that, they would produce. That's the fruit they produce. Simple. Okay? That's why I watch. So, see, and it was like it was humorous in some respects. Trying to bullshit me and say, okay, stupid people, they think I'm stupid, they stupid. Because they're not angel. If they was angel, they would produce angel fruit. They're not angel. Trying to bullshit me. They're telling me what, you agents? What are you doing? Get back to Eddie Hearns, repeat what I say, echo and everything else. Wait, yeah, where's the fruit at? Where's the fruit? Because if you was an angel tree, you're producing angel fruit. That's why they left behind, because you got two groups there. You got the one that's the tree that's producing that, and they go out with the lamb, because obviously the lamb is producing it. Producing all the time. They produce a lot of it, a lot of fruit. Every year, a lot of it. And the elect, they produce too, so they go out with them. But you had the other, but you had some, the same tree. Remember this angel tree here, right? But the point is they need a little more fertilizer. That's where they go tribulation. Their angel tree, they just need more, a little more fertilizer. That's where they go tribulation to start producing the fruit. Because they don't produce the fruit, they ain't coming out of there. That's why I say, hey, give a chance, Luke. That was told Son of Man, say, oh, no, don't come down yet. Just put more fertilizer on it. Make sure you see it's an angel key. That's why they had to wash it. You could wash your robes, the blood of the land. It means, come on. But see if you start producing. Because if you can't produce those, then you're not that tree. Because if you start producing those, breaking those verses down. That's what you're reducing. Well, here you're faking. I'm repeating what you say and echoing all that. No, that's bullshit. Because you're not an angel tree. Who you are, but you're not an angel tree. And the reason why you cut down throwing the fire, because you're lying and you're bullshitting, and anything that causes resistance gets destroyed. Anything resisting this angel message get destroyed. It makes that clearly. So that's you in the process of doing that. Because you're pretending you're something that you ain't. You're pretending you're something you're not. So that's invincible. That's why it says, watch. And at this point right now, see, that's called, at this point, just cut it on down. Because I ain't got time for this bullshit. Right now, this stuff hit the fan. Anything, right? So, with that little WhatsApp, cut it on down. Cut it down. I got, right? Because right now, I'm totally focused. I don't have time for any more bullshit. I really had time to begin with. But now I'm totally focused. Because, hey, you was a angel tree, you'd be producing angel fruit. So you ain't. And so cut you down because you're in the way. I give it, for instance, right? They flee. And things happen along the way, I'm saying. Like I said, I was watching this thing. I said, let it play out. I said, get rid of it. Right now, it's too late for the devils to come. It's time is up. I said, if I get rid of them, if devils send them in, they won't come another way. Maybe they infiltrate my family or something. I say, I ain't got time. I know who they are. I keep it under control, right? Keep it over there. So I ain't got to worry about anything else. Right? But now, that day is over. Right? I think it's like, that takes some stuff. I used to crack up, man. Someone come and ask me, I said, about fleeing. Now, they don't tell you, they tell you flee to the mountains, but you don't understand, you can't understand what that means. Man says, hey, man, flee too. So why do you ask me that? Think about that for a minute. Okay. You tell somebody, if the cops come in, you flee to New Jersey. Maybe you're in California. New Jersey, right? Okay. But you want to tell the cops that you fled to New Jersey? But you want to do that? Think about that for a minute. The cops ain't got to pursue you. All they got to wait for New Jersey when you show up. I said, why is this person asked me that? Well, they said, what are we fleeing to? Because I never said. If I wanted to say, I could have said it. Don't say an angel. Said flee to the mountains. But you understand what that means. So I said, okay, flee to Chicago. Everybody talking about flee to Chicago. Am I a goddamn fool or something? I'm going to tell the devil we're going to flee to, so they sitting and wait for us and destroy it when we get there? Already laying bombs and play a whole whatever they're going to do. So they say, yeah, they're going to flee to Chicago. When they get there, they're going to have a surprise on their ass. They're goddamn stupid. See, that's what I'm saying. What are these people? What they never send there? Because we definitely ain't going to flee no damn Chicago. Not even close. That'd be a damn fool. I'm going to tell the devils where we're going to flee to. They attacking us. They want to get rid of us. And they can be sitting and wait for, here they come. Dumbasses. Yeah, stupid that shit is them. Who are these people? That's something the devil want to know. Like I said, he also know when it's happened. I told everybody, make clear, I lied to the devil, so I lied to my enemies. If I knew, I wouldn't tell them. I know a lot more than they think I know. I know what time is now. You think I'm going to tell them? Because I haven't told them anything. I wouldn't tell anybody in general. They should have picked on that up. Because I don't tell them anything in secret. We at it right now. Science. They've been confusion. Because a lot of things I haven't told them. A lot of things I told them. Right? Confuse them. Because really, they're there to get information to give it to the devil. Do you know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen? Because there's some stuff going to happen that you have no idea. I told you. You have no idea. And I ain't telling you. And it won't be revealed until Farrakhan goes down and Nation Islam under control. Then those things will be revealed at that time because the war is going on. And one of the things is going to have the war turn the way it's going to turn. Because remember, when he takes control of the night, the war is going on. And some things will be revealed that's going to, I'm going to leave it like that. That's what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. This kind of stuff is going on. And they have no idea what they're up against. When they're up against Suleiman, an angel, there's no way they can penetrate it. See, let me show you this. See this right here? See a circle right here around him? That's the angel. That's the angel, but he's transmitting from the angel. That's the angel's like a barrier. Watch this. Oh, see? They come at it with their minds, their devil minds. But remember, they can't. Remember, I said it's a mental war. So they cannot penetrate it because they can't produce. Only way they can penetrate, angel verses, and they just can't do it. They can't break those verses. So what happens? Bounce back, bounce off. They can't. Only one can penetrate it is the one that's the angel fruit. Okay? That's how I know. Because if you can't read those verses, you ain't angel. I don't give a damn who you think you are. If you can't penetrate, because when you have, I told you, when you go in and how babies are born and kind of stuff, same thing. You got all those sperms, maybe millions of them, only one can penetrate that egg. Only one can penetrate it. And then it takes a new life. So they can't penetrate there. So that's why I know right there, they can't get to me. Because the only way they can get to me, they have to angel verses. And if it's that, then they are angel. I ain't got to worry about them. They're angel. Because they can break those verses, that means they got a new mind. Angel mind, I ain't got to worry about them. They're with me. They either for me or against me. But if you can't penetrate that, if you can't, and they, oh man, I got this, I got that, and repeating and echoing, and right, they store stuff and everything else, and they can't break one verse down. That means they ain't angel. They're the other tree. It's the invincibles. Because I said it's not only my weapon, it's also my shield. They can't penetrate, so I don't worry about it. They ain't gonna let them get close to me. I ain't gonna play with them, dangle, but they can't break it. They can't do it. That's how I know they ain't for real. They fake. And that's not talking about the demons. The same thing when ancient days take over the NOI. See? Because they're gonna have to prove that they are angel tree. They had to break some verses down. Now, some broke down. They got to go in and show they can break those verses down. That's how you know they can't break them down. Okay? It's simple. That means they can't go to the next reality. That's my protection because they can't get to me. Okay? They can't break that down, man. Hey, no, you ain't. You're close to me. You don't get in my inner circle. See, I didn't have full grasp on that when I do that Eddie Hearns guy. Okay. Don't happen no more. That's how I know. Okay, what you say, what you do, I don't hear nothing. You can say, oh, that's the one to tell me about your problems and everything else. You can't break a verse. That's the Lamb's Book of Life. The Lamb's Book of Life. That's how you get in there. You break verse, okay, you're in. Like take with the SAT test, whatever. You can't break it, you ain't in. Period. And tribulations give you, like it says, that's what it says. The verse says, well, put a little more manure on it, put a little more fertilizer. See, maybe that's made a little more. Okay. That's tribulation. If you don't, and you come through there, everlasting shame and apartment because you ain't angel. Everlasting shame and apartment, so you go in the furnace. Hope you understand, brother. Well, maybe you understand, you don't. It is right here. Just as weeds are gathered together and burned in fire, it's just demons. They just burn up with the devils. Some of the men were sent for as angels. They will gather out of his kingdom all stumbling blocks. See, it's stumbling blocks, pushmobiles, just problems. See? And that's why they end up being tormented, because they was in the way. You kept putting fertilizer on them. You kept everything else for years and years and years. They don't produce nothing. All that work you put in, that's consequence. They got to pay a consequence for that. You took all, so that's the consequence you pay. So I work, invest in you, and you produce not a damn thing. Nothing. So you was full of shit, or you was lying, or whatever. I mean, I caught one of them just outright lying. Told me right there, they wouldn't, because they was angel key, angel tree, they would not be lying, especially to me. The consequence of that, that's a hell of a consequence to that. You don't understand it, because I am the angel. You don't understand what that means. You understand what that means? Like when they talk about, all praise be to in the name of Allah, and then they go out and lie. They had any idea what the consequence that is. The consequence is enormous. And stand away the angel, a lion. That's it says any resistance to this is that either be crushed or broken. It said the ones that fall against it, they're broken. Right? The ones that fall, so that's right here. They're broken, that means they're thrown in the furnace. The ones that's crushed, they are resistant. That's a demon that's crushed. Those that fall on, this angel message fall on, they're crushed. That's what right there, it's burn up. But the ones that fall against it, we resisted, that's that group. They're thrown in the furnace. Totally. Like Elijah's mama said, they turned their seed, everything is all turned in there. Eradicate them all together, because remember, they are their seed, right? So, with them to come back up some other kind of, like, put some pressure on something in the water, come another way, no. Because if you don't do that, maybe they come back, another transform, another form, right? And then they got through anyway, no. Totally cut off. That's why Elijah Muhammad said their seed, if they allowed the seed to continue, they put a tattoo here, make sure everybody knows long and forever. So identify them so they can never come back through again. Okay? Once they identified. And they were throwing in the furnace. They were weeping at national teeth. They keep talking about it. They weeping national teeth. Like I said, that day's over. I made it clear. I'm through with that. Okay. Well, I mean, the last chance any of them have, and that's not them, but the ones in NOI, the last chance they got, if some of them in there, because all the resistance and everything around, they get a chance. Maybe they was wilting. Maybe because they didn't produce, because they didn't get any water, they didn't get sunshine, because people was blocking the water, sunshine. So, okay. Match farm at pull plug. No distractions. Now you give them some water, give them some sunshine, give them some fertilizer, and see what they produce. They produce the verses, we got them. They don't produce verses, they either don't make it, or if they come out there, they come out everybody's ashamed of Parliament. And then the righteous will shine forth, because they eliminate out here. Because then all these are just, this is the only trees left there, and this fruit tree, that's the righteous. They produce an angel. Right? They produce an angel fruit. This person's part of responsible. But I can't blame it all on him, because the point is, after Elijah, how in the hell did they fall for this cloud? Why did they fall for him? Well, part of them fell for him because they're not the angel tree, or the angel tree, but they can't produce any fruit. They're sterile. Freshmen so great, they lost their ability to produce anything. We don't want them either. So you got to produce good fruit. I'm saying some people, the press was so great that their fundamental idea of self-preservation destroyed. So now it's replaced by, they love the devils. That was their self-preservation. They'll die for them and everything else. They won't make it either. I talk about purging. We're going to take the very best. Only those that can, that fruit that can break those. That's the only ones we accept. The only ones in the Lamb's Book of Life. Period. Only ones in the Lamb accept. Period. Then you got the demon legion. Very destructive. Sending war with the saints. It's very clear who this person is. Say, well, how come they don't know? It's probably because you got that bad tree sucking up their fertilizer, sucking their air, sucking their water, sucking their sunshine. That's why you got to cut it down. Remember, it's sucking up energy. The amount of energy on the planet is divided amount everything that uses energy. That's what I said when it says we're going to get a great burst of energy from dimensions of heaven and earth. We get that every 50 years, probably, right? Okay, so you got 5 billion people on the earth. So you got 5 billion units of energy, right? So everybody gets 1 unit because you get divided by everybody. You got 5 billion people, got 5 billion units of energy. Everybody gets 1 unit per day, right? What if you mess around and get rid of 4 billion? 4 billion only got 1 billion, but you still got 5 billion. So everybody gets 5 units a day, get 5 times as much they was going before, because you got rid of 5 billion, 4 billion. And that's part of what this war is going to happen. You're going to get rid of, that's why I say you're going to get rid of the majority of people on the planet. So aside from the 5 that you get Mitchells every 50 years, Mitchells in heaven and earth, then you get that big burst of energy because you got rid of 4/5 of the planet. It says men will be so rare. So you got that big burst of energy you want to get. See? Because everybody's, that's what I said, will be trained in a twinkle of an eye. Because you're going to get that big burst of energy all of a sudden. Complete your transformation. Here it is. That's what we're talking about. When most sort of people were out of control for Aaron, they said he said he's Aaron. Let him out of control, being an object of ridicule. So how can he miss this verse? Yeah, so what the hell's going on? How could he miss this verse here? Moses then stood at the gate of the camp. Whose camp? Aaron's camp. And whoever, remember, this is during the 4 winds, because Moses represents the 4th wind. Whoever's with the Lord, come with me. All the sons of Levi gathered to him. That means they wouldn't with Farrakhan. They were with Suleiman. They were seeking him. Right? And Moses come and say, here he is. Remember, there was 4 winds blast, and they come together. They come together to him. Moses said, here he is. Okay, they come together to him. They ain't with Farrakhan. Because they were with Farrakhan, why would they be seeking something else? If you would, they said they were seeking. So that means they weren't with Farrakhan, as it says. To go with the Lord. Now, in fact, Moses, during the 4 winds, I know you didn't see it that way, but that's what it's saying here. 4 winds said, oh, here he is. Moses said, during the 4 winds blowing. He said, this is what the Lord God says. Every man, they go and wipe them all out. Wipe all the demons out. Get out people. They don't have their minds back, but they got this. They getting their spirits though. I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. Let me see if I got anything else I want to say here. But brothers and sisters, if you've been hearing that stuff about flee Chicago, you get the information at appropriate time. Don't flee Chicago. The devil sitting there waiting for your ass. That's one of the dumbest things I said. The devil tell me, they asked me that? I mean, If the devil didn't do it, they just do it on their own. I'm saying, is that stupid or what? Why would I do that? Why are you repeating it? When you ask that question, if you was for real, if you ask some intelligence, why would I tell you where we're gonna flee to when you're chasing me? Why I gotta chase you anymore? I just go to Chicago, wait for you guys to show up. Plant some disease or anything or whatever. So when you show up, that's your ass. It's a lot of things like that. That's just one of them. Yeah, that's the easiest one to explain. But go to Chicago. Like hell, going to Chicago. I'm telling them where we're gonna be at. I'm gonna tell them where we're gonna be at. I'm gonna tell them what time it's gonna happen. I'm telling them what the event is gonna be and how clear it's gonna be, all the details. See, right now they're a little nervous about going to Iran because some things they don't know yet. I ain't gonna tell them because they feeling the pressure from Iran. That means they know it's a problem. They want to get rid of that problem. But they're not sure right now, and I'm not going to make them sure. They're going to find in a minute. I told them in general, they're going to lose. But the specifics, but they're going to get, I told the shock of the hour, some stuff going to happen to them they wouldn't expect them. And I ain't telling them what it is either. Shock of the hour. Into Iran, they got a surprise for him. There's some other prize too. Other than what Master Muhammad's going to do, I already said he's going to be. The scriptures tell you he's going to be in it, right? Some moves will be making. It's going to shock you. It's going to put great fear in them when they see it. I ain't told you, but in detail exactly what that is. You won't see it in a minute. Okay, I think that's it, brothers and sisters. Is there anything else here? Yeah, I was talking to the brother this morning at the gym, right? I hate niggas. I say, I believe what this brother says. I was trying to explain to him. We're here. Blame adults for being here? No, we don't blame them because we set the whole thing up. We put Adam in charge. And we submitted and put ourselves right here because we wanted to get that transformation. We wanted to upgrade ourselves to God. But they afflict us. We knew they were going to afflict us because that affliction is what can help the process. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is they winter people and they just can't make it in the spring. That's the bottom line, no matter what they do. Can't make it spring. The only ones that can survive into the spring, but they'll be oppressed. They can't handle the pressures of it. When you can't stand the pressure, you can either be crushed or you can be humbled, or you can be. When you can't stand the pressure is greater than you. It can either be a crushing pressure, right? Or it can be oppression, like was. That pressure they put on us that caused us to transform wasn't crushing pressure. We survived it, but it was oppression because we was totally oppressed. We was able to do the impression because it wasn't enough to crush us. The same process is going to be applied to them. Those that make it out, I told you, those are the ones that have enough discipline to follow the law. We was told they follow the law of Moses. So Christians, if they follow that, they have enough discipline. They have enough discipline. They have enough strength to survive being crushed, but not being oppressed. And the pressure be so great that it caused their sense of self-preservation to be switched like it did to us. And so they're going to love us more than love themselves. So they've been total submission, total submission. They'll be our servants. The angels will be servants. Hope you understand that. So some of them will survive. And so they be taking captive all the land, all the they still kept all nature. That's why it says, "Through the man will be the hope of the Gentiles." I go with Gentiles. Because if they apply the law, they'll be saved. We say, "You saved, right? You saved, all right? Be servants. Service forever." Explain all of that. Okay. That's what we're talking about here, brothers and sisters. Okay. The other ones, everybody's be crushed out. And some nations be spared. Because, like it says, if you give it all the nations, because it said we'll be overwhelmed by it. Earth won't be subject to deprivation anymore. So there'll be plenty of food, plenty for animals, everything else. So it'll be overrun with animals and everything else. That's the only reason it says that's the only reason we get that under control. And then we use Adam to get domesticate all of that, to get all that control. And then there's no one left with us except for those, like I said, our servants and the animals. And those that are under control of the tyrant. Yeah, but that's all still together, but now don't worry about them. Anyway, I think that's it, brothers and sisters. Right? So a lot of things going to happen very soon. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's already going on. Because Trump is not going to, like I said, unless the universe starts reversing itself, all the things he's talking about, because they talk about it. Everything I've been talking about for 13 years, and you see it talking about it right now. You see it in place. Armageddon's in place. There's not going to be no peace over there in Ukraine and Russia. In America and the odds with Europe, I told you that would happen. You see about all these things. I get a lot of details. And there's a lot of details I haven't given you because right now that depends on, like I said, if they knew what hour this would happen, they could finish. That means if I tell them all the details, they find ways to get around it. And I ain't telling them that. Certain thing I told them, I know the war's on, and you're going to get your ass kicked. It's a matter of how much going to be involved in it. I'm not getting more details than that. But see, they're against a hard rock and hard place. Because they got, like I said, if you're under pressure, you want to alleviate that pressure. And so they got to do something because the pressure is increasing. So they put some, so you know that they're in trouble because they use more and more energy, put more and more resources. They use the pressure. But the people, they got to get your mind to understand mathematically. So I don't even worry about it because most people understand it because they tell you right there. Where's America's? What's causing the problem for America? Mostly, it's just right there. That means it's putting pressure on them. Why is it putting pressure? Who's putting pressure? What's causing it? Then you got to pressure the angel, which is causing all of this. Because they brought that in, it bring those circumstances into play. You're into play. The consequence. Explain all of that and bring all these things into focus. Because it's coming into focus how? As the angel says it. So if it's coming into focus as angels saying, that means angels are the ones that bring it into focus. I mean, every action has an equal reaction. And who's the angel? It tells you right there. Those things happen as he broke the seals. He's causing it to happen. I explain all that. It says right there. I don't bring peace, I bring sword. I said, I bring it. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing the sword. I'm bringing division. You understand this stuff. You understand a minute. We're the consequence. Right now we're in the womb, so we're comfortable. A lot of us are comfortable in the womb. Oh man, they take care of us. We get everything. If you're in the womb, you're totally taken care of. Totally taken care of. All your needs and everything is taken care of. So you want to stay in that womb. People like that. A lot of people like that. See? And you know, if you come out of that womb, they don't have control of you anymore. That's fear. Fear is when you lose control. The more control you lose, the more fear you have. I'm gonna leave it there, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna let this play out here. Hold on. Let me close out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.